Hey everyone, this is Mr. Reimer. This video is an overview of the week of September 28th, 2020. Let's remember last week we finished Unit 1, the spread of civilizations. I have here a map, political units from around 800 BCE, so about after that period ended. Remember, we primarily studied four key areas: Egypt, India, China, and ancient Sumer. We took our exam and we did our first writing assignment. So students, if you didn't get those done last week, be sure you're getting them done ASAP. Progress reports are going out this week. All right. This week, we're starting Unit 2, the Classical Age. And I want to say a few words about the period of time before I get into the individual lessons. You see a map here of political units from the 1st century CE. These classical civilizations, they build on those river valley civilizations that we talked about in Unit 1. They continue the agriculture, they continue the technology that we saw in the previous period. But they, as you can see from this map, they grew much, much larger in terms of geographic size, but also in the amount of people contained in them. Now, as you can see from this map, the areas not in red are huge. So we are not focusing on every geographic region in this unit. We are primarily focused on these classical civilizations. Why? Well, like I said, they had the largest concentration of peoples, but they also had an enormous influence on the surrounding areas. Not just then, but they have continued to influence subsequent civilizations even up to the current day. That's why we call them the classical civilizations. They lay the foundations for so much of what was to come. They developed at this time in these places a very distinct culture and along with that religions that we still have today. They just developed distinct institutional patterns, most notably in the creation of states and how the states were run, what kind of structure and system they used, as well as introducing these enormous empires, which were a key feature of world history up until the 20th century. Now, I said that they were distinct, and only in some key areas did they touch. But the linkages through trade that developed in this period profoundly influenced these empires, but also grew and expanded in subsequent ages. So this is a key foundational period of time in world history. All right, let me go now to our lesson plans, our WAG, our week at a glance for this week. We're not going to start with the very first civilization. We're going to have a bridge lesson on Monday and Tuesday in which we zoom out. So we were narrowly focused in on the early civilizations individually. So we're going to zoom out and look at some trade linkages in the early period, the ancient period, both by land. We're going to look at nomads, which is a kind of civilization, or sorry, a kind of society we haven't talked about yet. And then we're going to look at trade over sea, primarily in the Mediterranean with the Phoenician peoples. That's Monday and Tuesday. And then we're going to zoom in to these individual classical civilizations, starting with the first one, what is known as ancient in classical Persia. And then we'll shift to the Mediterranean. We're going to shift west and look at classical Greek, and then we'll build on this pattern over the next couple of weeks. And if you were sick of those get sick charts, you need to get well, because we're going to use those get sick charts to analyze each of these classical civilizations. And I hope you like diving into some textbooks, because that is where we're going in this unit. I'm going to sort of remove some of those training wheels that I had in the first unit where I was giving you a lot of the information. And in this unit, I'm going to teach you how you can find that information in a variety of sources, such as using our online textbook. All right, so that's a bit about our lessons coming up. A few other announcements. Students, check your emails. I send you emails like, hey, you missed this assignment because you were late, or no, you were absent, and you need to make it up. Here's the deadline. You should be checking it out. I also send you progress reports. So you need to check your emails. It is a habit that successful students adopt. You need to check all your emails. Some of you have your personal emails connected to your school work. So you need to check those as well as checking your school emails. If you don't know how to do that, don't be shy to ask. It's called Outlook in the Office 365 app in the ClassLink homepage. So don't be afraid to ask if you have trouble. I can help you, or your other teachers can help you. Lastly, the school board voted this week to return to in-person classes October 19th. However, they also decided to split the returning students at high school into 2 cohorts, which I think is a great idea, a great solution to reduce the number of students in our crowded halls each day. So be looking for information about how and when we're going to split these cohorts. You still have the option. If you want to stay home and continue virtual learning at home, you can do that. But if you choose to come to in-person, just know you will only be in person 40 or 60% of the week. If it's your turn to be at home, you'll be at home. So even though you're in person, some of the time each week, you'll still be virtually learning at home. So make your choices for what's best for your family. For 10th graders, which is primarily most of my students, your first day back is Tuesday, October 13th, if you choose in person. Monday the 12th is a student holiday, so 10th graders are coming back October 13th. Be checking Remind, be checking your emails, be looking for announcements about how we're going to return to live instruction. I'm excited to see some of you, not all of you, some of you, because some of you are going to stay home, and I understand that. I'll see you in the Google Meets. But I'm excited to see students again at Poly. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you in class.